watching ABC4 News, celebrating 75 years.
And welcome back. We are heading into summer, and that means kids are all out of school. So for many families, that means it's time to get ready for even sibling rivalry and all the chaos that comes with that. Joining us here today to help out with all things and how to get kids to get along is Abby Crouse, the Clinical Director at the Family Support Center. Thank you, Abby, for joining us.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Perfectly timed topic. How these kids are about to be out of school. First off, why do siblings even fight?
You know, I think just one is, I think that there is a misconception that there is going to be sibling rivalry. Absolutely, there's going to be conflict because we all have conflict.
Right.
I think something just to remember, though, is that that we can teach techniques and we can utilize skills to help them so that they're not kind of at each other's throats all the time and making just a more harmonious household. Yeah.
And just know that this happens in every home. You're not doing something wrong, right?
No,
Okay.
no. I think that that's kind of just one of the differences is you're living together. There's this different relationship. And I think you have a little bit more of flexibility in allowing certain things to pass that maybe relationships like friendships you wouldn't let fly because you're family.
Because you're family. So tell us why these relationships are just so important to develop.
Yeah, so because of that, because you're together and because you have this different bond than maybe you have with friends or somebody else, it gives children the opportunity to really practice and try new things socially and emotionally, especially conflict resolution. And so I think it teaches kids how to be able to manage their feelings and acknowledge other folks' feelings and perspectives as well.
That's the thing that's so interesting is how quickly things can get heated up in the home, but also you're right, an opportunity again and again for repair and to learn how to repair. What can parents do to help kids get along then?
One thing to remember is that we can't expect kids to just know automatically. We have to kind of do some parallel teaching, and how we can do that is helping by acknowledging feelings and wants that children have, setting limits for siblings, and then also teaching alternatives for behaviors is one thing. I think another thing is making sure to maybe try to find some self-regulated turns versus forced sharing. Forced sharing is a lot of things that we try to do, but sometimes what that teaches is this idea of maybe a kid thinking, if I cry, I get what I want. My sibling and I are always in competition versus self-regulated turns teach this idea of sometimes it's my turn, sometimes it's not. And also when I'm ready to give my turn to my sibling, it feels really good to do so.
Okay, can you just give us an example? Like what's that conversation look like to teach that?
So I think that one is just setting up those boundaries. I think it's like having, okay, hey, Timmy's gonna have the iPad for this time first, right? And then Sylvia, you're gonna have the iPad for this time second. And I think it's managing to make sure that they are understanding and you're setting boundaries of what happens if you don't give that, and also making sure that they are kind of regulating that turn taking, right? Okay, Sylvia, it's your turn to take it after me. Like I said, that does really instill this child feeling really good about being able to do that.
Yes, what is skill? Okay, so much more we can learn about this. If people are needing more information, where can they go?
They can always go to familysupportcenter.org.
Okay, Abby Crouse, again, we appreciate your time here on this Wednesday. There's the website, utahfamilies.org, but also we'll have that link to our website, abc4.com. Thanks again, Abby. We'll send it over to you, Rich.